15 this year, but you'd suspect with a rather better chance than that. The winner of this match will face Scott Mitchell in the next round. Geert de Vos has gone out in the second round the last 5 years. Great match last year when he played Scott Waits at that stage. Waits coming from behind, the eventual champion, to win 4-3. Raymond Smith, 37 years old, 2 years older than de Vos, ranked 48 by the BDO from Brisbane in Australia. The guru, they call him, presumably a financial guru, because he's a financial analyst by trade, which one would suggest would make him pretty good at working out the finishes. Wife Belinda and these two sons, Kai and Connor, will be watching back home in Brisbane, where it's somewhere around about 7:30.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First set, first leg is Geert de Vos first. Gamer.
R.Smith trying to get the support of the crowd. He wants them with him. He knows that he's going to have to raise his game if he's going to beat Geert de Vos.
Absolutely right, John. I think if he plays exactly the same as he did last night, I echo what Chris Mason said just before, he will lose against Geert de Vos.
Oh, how about that? What a start! What a start! He's come out, revved up the crowd, and started with a 180.
Well, that sorts that out. Great start, R.Smith. I think even Geert de Vos appreciated that.
He gave him a bit of a look, didn't he? Where's that come from? As much as Geert was saying to him.
Now, let me get this out of the way, John. Australia versus Belgium never fails to give you drama.
100.
The elder of Raymond's two sons, Kai, due to be playing in the Australian Championship for the first time, I think today, at the age of 14, and he was telling me that
77.
Delighted though he is to be here playing in this, he's just gutted to be not seeing his son playing for the first time on a big stage.
He was talking in the interview before the game started about something that he missed in his personal life at the Australian Championships. It's a very heartfelt story, but maybe he misses these things for a reason, because remarkable things tend to happen on those days.
Well, it's the death of his mentor, June, who passed away.
136.
Obviously, somebody who meant an awful lot to him. So 121 now he requires. Treble 17 would leave him bull. Bullseye, what a start this would be.
96.
Good effort. That would have been a 12-darter.
He didn't really need to go for the bullseye, because Geert de Vos on 189. But as soon as he hit the 180 in the very start of the leg, why not finish it with a bit of Hollywood?
25.
25 then, there's the 9. Double 8.
Yeah,
what an impressive start that was. He might be a massive outsider, but he came on with a kind of superstar walk-on. And then he's delivered when he throws the darts. Can he maintain it, though? That's the question.
That is the question,
41.
John. We were talking before the coverage tonight about people who wear the clothes and do the walk-ons. They've got to really live up to those reputations, and that walk-on of Raymond Smith is definitely something to live up to.
100.
Absolutely, it's not understated, is it? It's sort of well, he's not got his hair in a crazy Peter Wright style design, but he certainly is not understated in the way he announces himself on the stage. Well, you had your moments, didn't you?
Certainly had some moments. Tried to back it up. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't.
134.
Good darts. Yeah, I thought that match that de Vos had last year against Scott Waits was one of the matches of the championship. Atmosphere was absolutely rocking that night, and Waits came from behind, and we kind of looked at it the way Scott was throwing, and we'd said, yeah, he could go deep into the championship. And really that night when he won that second round, wasn't it, you sort of thought if he can replicate that, he's a potential champion, and so it panned out.
Well, Geert de Vos and Scott Waits are two of those guys in the BDO who can really rip up that treble 20.
He can be a very heavy scorer, Geert de Vos, if he really gets into 60. Top gear. As we were hearing about his performance at the Grand Slam, when one of the matches he was averaging up around 108. He really is a heavy scorer. Bullseye needed. Well, it's not quite in.
55.
Raymond Smith in this leg is a fair way behind. DeVos is definitely in control.
100.
Interesting to see where he goes with his 72. Triple 16 perhaps. With a single 16 will leave double top. Double top it is.
Yeah,
it's lovely and clean. Second leg to DeVos.
Quality ball.
Absolutely beautiful. Silky smooth as well, John.
Yep. And I think Raymond Smith's going to enjoy the pace at which Geert de Vos plays rather more than he did against Davy van Bellen, the man who he came through against last night. Van Bellen, a very slow, deliberate sort of player, and you just got the feeling that Raymond was struggling just a bit coping with that.
Can't think of many slow players down in the Australian circuit, that's for sure. I've racked my brain all day and I can't think of one. So I think you're right, John. I think the pace of Davy van Balen last night really was making him struggle, and it took him a while to get used to it.
114.
Used to be a couple of Van Bellens who used to play rugby league for Bradford Northern back in the day. Big lads they were. Whew.
Can't think of any small blokes in rugby league.
Premium was a little bit more on strength in the muddy old days. And they were big boys.
114.
Good dance again from de Vos. Early stages, ton plus average though at this point.
De Vos is very, very highly respected in European darts and around the world. After a blistering start from Raymond Smith, de Vos has played a lot better.
De Vos, winner of the Hull Masters and the French Open this year. Runner-up as well, another four titles, I think, to add to that. Another 3. Double 10. Well, he needed that, didn't he? The throw's under pressure now.
Very much under pressure. Raymond Smith has been given a lifeline in this leg. We know what happens when he goes for tops, as we saw last night. He hits it clean.
How about that? You may well blink, Geert, because that was quality finishing. And he had the chance to win it, so Geert has to put that behind him, but that is an impressive break. He's up for this. He's really charged up, is Raymond.
Here comes de Vos.
140.
Been very impressed with the interview of Raymond Smith before the match, John.
Oh, it's a great story, that, isn't it?
He knows his darts too. He was talking about Simon Whitlock's run to the final, and I was talking to him earlier in the week about other Australian representatives here, and he knows every single one of them.
Well, I was asking him, about what he did for a living, and he's obviously a smart cookie. What he does, but he was saying darts really is his life. Apart from that, he's a big family man. But he says, I play my darts and I coach as well. He's trying to put it back in as well as just what he can take out of it. Good bloke.
Yeah, the conversation we had was all surrounded by this idea of his to give back to the youth generation of dart players in Australia, and I think it takes a lot of courage to start something of that magnitude, and he really is passionate about it.
No, you warm to a guy like that, and he's certainly making plenty of friends over here. And he's got himself onto a finish again here, and when he comes back, he's going to be looking for a massive check out here, which could potentially win him this first set. De Vos has got himself onto 170. That can be done. Oh, it's still on. Oh, just missed that treble 18, which would have left him the bullseye, but he's nicely placed.
170.
Well, he's in control here. I'll tell you what, the wrestle control from Raymond Smith, what better than a 170? Oh, a little squint from the Belgian as if to say that was close.
Good
setup. Pressure's on Raymond Smith now.
Well, let's see this. 68. This tests his resolve. 8 would leave tops. Now then. Double 16.
52. Here to require 40.
Will that be the only opportunity he has to win the set?
Yeah, that's
We
been
won't
short
find
of
out
the
until the
forward.
next leg, because
Clear to
DeVos has broken again our kingdom for a hole,
Fifth
John.
leg, it's clear to throw first. King on.
It's a game of darts which at this stage is extremely easy on the eye, being played at a nice pace, some quality finishing and some heavy scoring. See him there blowing on his arm behind DeVos.
62.
A little superstition he carries into his matches. Said that's where his mentor June touched him on the arm and said, "Don't you worry about it, you're going to be okay in this match." And he believes that she's still watching down on him.
Nothing wrong with a bit of faith.
40.
I think every dart player has a little idiosyncrasy, whether they know it or not. I always want to blow on my fingers just to get a little bit of moisture. You know, Simon Whitlock used to blow into his hands. Still does.
100.
Whitlock, as Raymond Smith was telling us, the last Australian man to make an impact on these championships. Runner-up in 2008, semi-finalist back in 2005. And the old wizard, he's been throwing better darts again recently, hasn't he? Nice to see after a little bit of a sticky spell.
Yeah, I think everybody's raised their game against Simon in the last couple of months. He's been playing some really good stellar stuff. I know he's over in Thailand at the moment having a holiday, but when he comes back for the 2017 season, he'll be ready, that's for sure.
55.
Winner of this one to take the set. DeVos is the favourite with the darts. Beating himself up a bit for that one.
80.
Raymond needs trebles. Really did
60.
need more than one there, and he doesn't get any.
Still advantage DeVos. Won his first major televised title at the BDO World Trophy in Manchester last year. Beat Jeffrey de Graaf in the final. Say last year, I'm forgetting him in 2017 now. It's 2015, that was.
It was a good game, John.
It was.
And all the way, pretty
84.
much. It was a very, very entertaining match.
Well, it's still advantage DeVos. Smith really needs to hit some trebles.
64. Here to require 136.
Well, he's got himself onto a finish, Smith, but DeVos having first crack.
136 is tricky. Do need 2 trebles. There's one of them. Stay there for double 8. Double 8 for the set.
Yeah,
Whoa,
that's game
what a
short of the
peach.
first set.
What a brilliant
Beautiful.
checkout. Superb 136. And what a way to do it. Raymond Smith was there. He got himself onto a finish, but Gert de Vos, superb 136 checkout.
Good game so far.
Enjoying this one.
100.
Crowder into it as well. He can throw a bit.
He can throw a bit. He's got a little bit of attitude.
140.
Maybe not as much as some of his Belgian counterparts, but one thing I have looked at with Gert de Vos is his action. In a funny sort of way, he reminds me of Mike Gregory a little bit. Extension of the arm. Just the way he throws. Everybody's different.
See if we can watch it a bit more closely then. Study his throw and talk us through it.
Same sort of right angle with that elbow and the extension.
60.
It just has the same look about it as a Mike Gregory, who of course made that incredible final back in 1992.
How about this? Well, nothing wrong with that. That's his second maximum. De Vos yet to get one. And Smith's on a finish. crowd would love to see this
100.
likeable Aussie really
Ready
go
to
for
require
Gert de Vos.
121.
Can he do it now? 121. Treble 17 would he look for? He doesn't.
89.
Time on his side, choosing just to go to double 16. Good dart.
83.
Yeah, beautiful,
Ready to require
beautiful right
32.
angle, and then the extension.
Double
very
16.
Mike Gregory-like, but
Yeah,
There it
that's
is.
game shorter than the first leg.
Well, that's quality
Second
again.
leg is
Smith
clear to
had
first.
to bite
Game
straight
on.
back. He has done, and he's really trying to G himself up.
I think there's a lot more quality early on in the match from Raymond Smith tonight. Took him a
140.
long time to get into the match yesterday, but today he's just bringing a little bit more to the table, and de Vos has lifted his game in response to that.
Pair of them are averaging in the 90s. But the
100.
averages don't really tell the story of the drama of the match so far. Very, very easy on the eye, and good double checkouts as well. De Vos with 50%, and Smith even better at 60%.
85.
Tonight I think we're seeing more from Raymond Smith of what is in his locker.
140.
Maybe just needed to be pushed a little bit by de Vos so that we can see that stuff.
Well, if he were to win this match, it would be, I think, probably the performance of his
96.
career. It'd have to go down as that. And he'd be somebody who would be certainly starting to take notice of. He's, as I've said before, he's made an impression, and in this match, more so than yesterday, he's showing he can
42.
play.
And sometimes we say that the first game you play on the World Championship stage is always the hardest, whether that's your first championships or not. First round or preliminary round in Raymond's case is always a little bit edgy.
100.
There's Jackie. He's a, I think what can you say about Jackie? He's a character, isn't he? He goes all over the place, cheering on the Belgians.
97.
He's got a little bit of the eccentric about him.
80.
He enjoys enjoying himself, I think it's fair to say.
2 10s.
Yeah,
What
that's
a
game
beautiful
shorter than the
finish.
second leg. Clear to Vos. Third leg is Raymond at throw first. Game on.
A loud boom when it went in.
Maybe that's where Kim Huybrechts gets it from. He likes to say the word boom.
97.
So one apiece in this second set. Going with the throw.
100.
We mentioned earlier that all of the other Belgian counterparts of de Vos have departed the tournament. He is the last man standing,
140.
but arguably the best player from Belgium in the BDO right now, that is for certain.
Only seeded 15, but I'd say he's a better player than that.
I
100.
absolutely agree with that. I think the package of Gert de Vos is brilliant. He's steely.
It's going to need to be, because he's having a lot thrown at him here.
94.
Still advantage Smith in this leg. He's first one to a finish. But joined by de Vos also now on a finish. Quality.
70.
Another good leg from both players. 170 left. Now he's got 110. Well, I think that first dart wasn't perfect. May have wanted it just a little bit lower, but de Vos, he'd want it on anywhere in the 60 would be good.
There you go. Treble 17 would leave Bull. Bullseye now for 161. Oh, by fractions he misses. Didn't miss by a deal.
72.
I guarantee you who thought that was in. It looked great in the air.
Tops now. Oh, good finish, 72. We've got a game on here.
And a smirk from the Belgian as if to say, okay, so it's going to be like that, is it? Raymond Smith has definitely come to play. He's come to fight again.
I think what we know about him from what he's produced here is that he can certainly throw, and he's up for a scrap. He's not going to be intimidated, no way.
Last night I said about Van Baarle and about Raymond Smith. They say that you learn on the Lakeside stage the more you're up there. Well, after last night, those guys were members of Mensa. They were up there that long. But he's using the experience already against a far superior opponent, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a bit of a marathon, that one last night, wasn't it? Could have been sponsored by Charles Darwin.
100.
And a steady ton. DeVos came so close to that 161 checkout, didn't he? Had the bullseye for it, and you thought it was in, Paul. Look at this.
If you think about where he throws from in the hockey, he's looking at that. I guarantee you he thought that was in.
$85.
Nothing much between them again in this leg either. If Smith were to win this one, if he broke the throw, then it'd be a set apiece. Even if DeVos holds his throw, Smith's going to have the arrows for the level up in the next leg.
The Lakeside crowd are definitely getting their money's worth in this championship. There have been a few tiebreakers so far. Who's to say that this won't do the same? DeVos needs another one of those. I was going to see, he's already had a 136. That would have eclipsed
128.
Right, well, we know the way. Shanghai for the set victory. Needs the treble now for tops. Just a touch low.
88.
Good last start.
Future requires 60.
Got a feeling he isn't coming back though. DeVos is usually a tops master, but I don't think he minds double eights.
Yeah, that's game.
There's the proof.
Fifth double out of 9 for Gerd DeVos, 4 out of 6 for Smith. The finishing has been high quality from both men. And now with the darts, Raymond Smith, can he hold the throw to square up the match?
95.
I'd say DeVos's throw is one of my favourites. Just really smooth, very reliable, very repetitive, robotic. So many things you can say about it.
Decent averages. 98 plus for DeVos, Smith in the 90s as well. Finishing though,
60.
really good. 56% DeVos, 67% Smith. Look at those numbers. Not too many darts players out there, wouldn't mind having them.
That's not your hand off. Durant is still 96. Top of the pile when it comes to averages and the highest finish of the tournament so far.
5-4 favourite to be holding the trophy come Sunday evening. Glenn Durant.
55.
And I gather from our in-house bookies that they're still taking plenty of money on Durant at that price.
Not surprising.
Fantastic season he's had, great year.
If he's got mathematics here, go for the ball.
140.
Leaves him a bogey.
Well,
I think 15s of the bull there was the shot, but
I think the penny dropped after he'd thrown it.
Let's give him credit though. He got the 260s, and by virtue of those, we get a shot at a double, all being well. A 133 on 19s would be very good. Another treble.
133.
Perfect setup.
Good call. Well delivered. Great darts. Double 16 when he returns. All Smith can do is hammer in the big numbers and try and put some pressure on.
100.
But DeVos now to break the throw. This is to go 2 sets up. Double 16. His finishing has been good. That's not a bad marker. Doesn't have to move. Oh, now double 8. Good darts, good darts. Great strength of character there, and DeVos nailing.
Quality match that's going the way of Gert de Vos. Earlier, if you weren't with us, Paul Hogan got the better of Martin Phillips despite the spirited comeback from the Welsh captain. 3-2 to Paul. And Lorraine Winstanley was too strong for Anke Zylstra. A 2-0 win for Lorraine. She's through to the quarter-finals. 2-0 and counting then, de Vos at the moment. Players will be back out shortly. And then we've got Brian Doggy Dawson against the last year's runner-up here at the Lakeside, Jeff Smith. That one to look forward to when they're done. And de Vos Chris Mason is just too good, isn't he?
Yeah, very solid. We suggested that the scoring power would be the big difference, and that's providing, you know, that's the answer at the moment.
This is the 1-3-6 for the first set.
It's lovely and clean.
Yeah.
He just looks, as we said, he looks comfortable up there, and his average is, you know, just a shade under 100, and after 2 sets played, and they were competitive sets.
Yeah.
I mean, Smith's a very respectable 92 and change. You know, against the majority of the other players that we've seen so far, he'd probably be running out a comfortable winner.
There's his darts for the second set, which you can see he knows how significant that is. In fact, you mentioned the averages. Smith up over the tournament 84, which is obviously his preliminary round match, to 92 tonight. So he's doing everything he can.
Yeah, he's raised his
enough.
game. Yeah, it's not. That's what we feared, though. Is you know, he obviously can play the game at probably a higher level than that, but it's doing it under that pressure in this situation where his game against Van Balen, so they both were up and down, so he could get away with it. Against de Vos, you're not going to get away with nothing.
No, Smith, in fact, when he's had chances at doubles, has taken them 4 out of 6. Fantastic, 67%, just not getting enough opportunities. Will he get some? Well, he'll have to outscore a very high-scoring Gert de Vos if he's going to make any inroads here. 2-0 in sets and counting. First of 3, of course, so Gert is well on his way. Scott Mitchell awaits the winner. We'll go back to the comms box.
It's been a good match to watch, this one.
First leg, it's clear to throw first, Demon.
And I've been really impressed with the throwing of Gert de Vos, who, well, the 15 seed, it's a bit of a nonsense, really. Look how well he's throwing.
40.
Brilliant way to come back. He's averaging close to a ton. He's got this simple sort of throwing style. He's never been past the second round, but it wouldn't be a major surprise if he were to do so this year. And Scott Mitchell will certainly know he's got a real match on his hands if this fella completes the victory now.
I like the look of that game. I mean, we're not wishing Raymond Smith any ill or anything like that, but de Vos versus Mitchell is a mouthwaterer.
Yeah, that'll be a humdinger if it happens. One to watch out for.
This past season, de Vos has actually won a couple of titles. He won the Hull Masters, beat Bradley Kirk in that final. Bradley Kirk from the South Coast, very good upcoming player. And of course he won the French Open, beating Michael Baker in the final.
61.
Won his first big title, really, back in 2012 when he won the German Open, first BDO ranking event. This is good, though.
140.
Gert de Vos, that is. Beat Alan Norris in the final. Alan doing really well with the PDC now since making the switch over.
27.
Earned a few quid, that's for sure. He got, was it £35,000 for a 9-darter recently? The German Open is a very, very prestigious BDO event.
Well, he won it the following year as well. He defended it. De Vos beat Stephen Bunting in the final. Another man who's gone over.
It's a pretty good thing to put on your CV. Yeah. When I was growing up, Gary Robson told me all about the German Open in Bochum, Germany.
100. Remy Uruguay, 156.
Great tournament.
156 for the break of throw. Not this time. He's trying to put that 113 under a bit of pressure.
60.
Well, treble would have been nice and just couldn't find it. 113 to take an early lead. Treble 18. Not now.
97.
Oh, come on, Raymond. Let's see if you can get the double now.
Treble 20 will be the target. Stay there. Try to glide it over the top.
88.
Instead he leaves double 4.
16.
Double 8, 16 required for Geert de Vos. Small adjustment. This time, surely, after 2 good markers.
Yeah, that's Kim Shaw in the first line. Geert de Vos. Second leg is Raymond first.
De Vos on his way in a set, which, if he wins it, will put him into that match against Scott Mitchell.
You know what it is, John? I'm going to give Geert de Vos an affectionate nickname. I'm going to call him Clive Owen. Don't panic. He just doesn't panic. Not a piece of sweat on that brow.
100.
Is it Clive Owen? Did I get that wrong?
Clive Dunn.
Clive Dunn, that's right.
Clive Dunn,
Owen.
don't panic, Mr. Mannering.
Clive Owen's an entirely different kind of actor.
Sorry, I looked at you a bit vacantly when you said that, and then I thought, where's he coming from? And then the penny dropped.
100.
I'm a bit more like Fraser. I'm usually doomed. Be a good promo, wouldn't it, for a dart player from Scotland? Go up on the hockey and say, "You're
I'm
doomed."
95.
A good name for a band, wouldn't it? The Doomed.
Probably
Anyway,
is one.
Back to the darts.
100.
Oh, what a great last dart that was. Bobby George, isn't it? He's coming tomorrow, I'm told. Good to see the big fella around.
93.
As ever, with a smile on his face this week. Looks in terrific nick.
Yeah, he's always in a good mood, Bobby. Raymond Smith has left 170 again. I lost count how many times he's left it.
Well, only one way it can be done. There's the first 33 and a third. No.
98. Kids, you require 104.
Couple of choices for this. Yep, treble 16 for Tops. Tops, can he get it?
64.
Ooh, it was a little bit to the right-hand side.
Maybe you require
The
72.
weight was good, but the line was not.
Terrific effort. Smith then to hold his throw. Double 12. Great first dart. Double 6 now. Has to get this.
Yeah, that's game show.
Yeah, that showed some nerve. There's some bottle there, you know. I mean, he might not win this match, but he's shown he can play, and he's shown he's got a good temperament.
That double 6, trust me, it was right in the middle.
123.
It was nowhere near the wires. Look at that. Poked its eye out.
Hello. Hello. Third maximum.
What I do like is he's having fun up there.
I hope we see him again. I'd love to see him back
81.
here. If he doesn't win this match, it'd be nice to see more of this fella. He could become a very, very popular player.
He's on a 9-darter there. And we have seen a 9-darter from an Australian Inner World Championships. Kyle Anderson, of course, that at Alexandra Palace. But here's a little tidbit for you, John.
Go on.
27 years to the day since Paul Lim had a 9-darter on that stage at the Lakeside.
To the day. Look at this. Great darts again. He's really going for it here. Looking up to the sky when he blew on his wrist, remembering his darting mentor. Now 81 for Raymond Smith. Not this time, has to hope that de Vos misses.
Well, I'm amazed he didn't go 12 ball. I am absolutely amazed, because de Vos can punish him, and he still can. Tops to punish. Punish he does.
Well, that is a little bit of a miscalculation. He gambled that de Vos was going to blow it, that he was going to miss, and de Vos made of sterner stuff.
Well, see de Vos's look when he was walking back there. It was very smug, as if to say, You made the wrong choice, Mr. Bond.
DeVos, for reasons
96.
that he would decide, that he's decided not to, as yet, pursue a career as a full-time professional darter. I wonder if he has a good run here. I just wonder.
It's definitely good enough. I'm a fan.
98.
Quality hat, wouldn't it?
Dart fans love their hats.
100.
Dart players love their 180s.
Well, he's had 4 of them today. Gert de Vos hasn't had a 180. Raymond Smith seemingly, maybe, sliding away out of this tournament, but he is
80.
raging against the possibility of defeat. He's still thudding those big numbers. Great first dart. Great second dart, double 10.
120.
Missed it by a distance.
I think
There's
he's
a
having a
smile
little
on his
chuckle
face.
to himself, as if to say that was close.
Not quite sure where it went.
Could have been worse. He could have hit double 15. That would have busted his score, and he would have gone back to 140.
Have another go. That's nearer.
Yeah,
And that's the one.
Shot on the forward line. Raymond Smith.
Held his throw.
Big flag, it's good to throw
But now
first.
DeVos with the darts to win the match.
In a very similar situation that he was in last night, so this will hold no fear for him. But he's playing someone who's possibly a little bit better. And there's that 180.
I've been really impressed with Gert de Vos tonight. His first maximum of the match.
100.
Bosh.
Loads of room under those first 2 darts as well. Tell you what, if he keeps this up in this leg, he'll solidify this performance with the best average of the first round so far.
Well, he's averaging 97.5 at this point. And I would venture to suggest he's actually played a bit better than that. He's really had a very solid
60.
performance tonight, Gert de Vos. It would have taken a good player to have beaten him here.
He's hit a lot of clutch stuff. I mean, that 116 checkout, that was a great shot. The 136 as well.
96.
Just doesn't look worried. Looks prepared for me.
Smith's going to get a terrific ovation from the crowd when he leaves. He's provided some rich entertainment
100.
this evening, but now de Vos on 85. This is for the match. He'll go treble 15, I think. No, he's gone 25. Now he goes 20 for tops. Here we go. This is for the match.
45.
Not this time.
Raymond Smith is going to get at least another 3 darts on the Lakeside stage in 2017. He wants to make it as big as possible.
43. Here to require 40.
Well, this time, surely, Gert de Vos. There it is!
Shot.
De Vos emerges victorious by 3 sets to 0. It's Belgian celebration. Well played indeed. And he is going to take some beating. Scott Mitchell, take note that Raymond Smith has loved the experience here, and he contributed wonderfully towards a really good performance. And now he's saying to the crowd, let's give some credit to this fella.
His debut here at the Lakeside, Australia's Raymond Smith.
They leave with Gert de Vos having won by 3 sets to 0, but a very, very entertaining match indeed.